Excellencies, dear colleagues of the Canadian Liberal Party, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy to address you during your Congress, and I'm honored to speak with you today. I would like to thank for this purpose my friend Art Eagleton, the president of the Canadian Group of Liberal International, for giving me this opportunity. Dear friends, when I think of Canada, I think of this magnificent snowy painting during the winter and multicolored during the summer, where harmony reigns. Harmony between people and nature, harmony between different cultures, people of different nationalities, different religions, live together, listen to one another, and appreciate each other. They are equal in front of the law and have equal opportunities. Migrants are not demonized and are welcomed, mentored, and supported to blend in with this harmony. While most countries have a pro-immigration party and anti-immigration party, in Canada, each party boasts of being more pro-immigration than the others. When I think of Canada, I'm thinking of your commitment to climate change and your leadership in the implementation of the Paris Agreement and the sustainable goals. Having witnessed myself the struggle of your leader and Prime Minister and the commitment and mobilization of your former Minister of the Environment, Catherine McKenna, whom I had the pleasure of knowing. Today, through the various resolutions that you propose to vote during this Congress, I see your commitment in continuing your fight to reduce inequalities and to arm your country to succeed the energy and digital transition. Ladies and gentlemen, our world today may seem less joyful and happier than the picture I have in my mind for your marvelous country. Le congrès que vous tenez aujourd'hui est historique. Il est historique à plusieurs titres. Il est marqué par un épisode des plus frustrants et malheureux que l'humanité a connu. Cet épisode de l'histoire de l'humanité marquera certainement les résultats de ce congrès et les politiques que vous serez amenés à adopter dans les prochaines décennies pour servir au mieux les intérêts des Canadiens et ceux de l'humanité. Le Covid-19, cet infiniment petit virus, a chamboulé nos vies, assigné à résidence des milliards de personnes, empêché plus d'1 milliard d'enfants de se rendre à l'école et n'a pas seulement érodé notre santé, mais a aussi fait basculer nos économies et nos organisations sociales. Durant cette crise, nous avons, en tant que libéral international, dénoncé plus que jamais les violations des droits humains, les restrictions abusives des libertés, les répressions répétitives et violentes des manifestations pacifiques. Nous avons dénoncé la violence contre les femmes et bien d'autres mots. Le constat général qui s'est dégagé de la crise sanitaire est une montée en puissance du nationalisme et des régimes autoritaires, pour qui un moment de crise comme celui-là est toujours un moment idoine pour gagner en popularité et justifier plus de nationalisme et plus d'autorité. Depuis le début de l'épidémie en mars 2020, nous avons sensibilisé la communauté internationale sur les dérives des détracteurs des libertés et de la démocratie. Et nous avons appelé à plus de solidarité et de coopération internationale en mettant en exergue les bonnes pratiques et les exemples réussis de la gestion de la pandémie par nos libéraux en Asie, notamment à Hong Kong et à Taïwan. Aujourd'hui, malgré la troisième vague dans de nombreux pays, une lueur d'espoir se profile à l'horizon avec l'avènement du vaccin. Mais encore, 9 doses sur 10 sont administrées dans des pays à revenus élevés et nous avons également à cet effet, avec le président du Conseil de l'Europe, appelé à l'accélération du dispositif onusien de solidarité pour aider les pays les plus vulnérables et qui n'ont pas accès au vaccin. Car disons-le, nous sommes en train de perpétuer nos modes de fonctionnement en exacerbant les inégalités qui sont déjà grandes et qui étaient déjà grandes avant le Covid. Let's agree that well before COVID-19, we lived in a world that was already hostile to many groups of societies facing inequalities. Although the world has never been so rich. Collectively, and just before the pandemic, the world was 3 times richer than what it was in 1990. And as the thinker Yuval Noah Harari said, never in the human history we were in so good shape. Never ever. Today, more people die from eating too much than for eating too little. More people die due from old age than from infection disease. And more people die by committing a suicide than are killed by wars and terrorism put together. It may be right, but still, in the developing countries, which represent a third of the planet's gross product and 75% of the world population, and where live 62% of its poorest, income is more unequally distributed than in the 1990s. Healthcare systems, education system, digital infrastructure are weak, and today vaccines are inaccessible. This will leave definitely 2/3 of the world population behind. Ladies and gentlemen, well before COVID-19, we all knew that climate change is a reality which costs us more than a loss of some gross domestic product points, but loss of lives. We all knew that 80% of our biodiversity is at the risk of extinction, which can lead to new diseases and pandemic. And if it's the case, COVID-19 will not be the latest pandemic. Moreover, the challenges of today have shifted also toward access to the digital world, which has created a lot of opportunities indeed, but at the same time has given rise to digital poverty and illiteracy. And let's be clear, the crisis of COVID-19, the crisis of climate change, the increase of populism and terrorism, proven not to have borders, nationality, race, or religion, and have shown to all of us that not a single country can defeat them on its own. We can only defeat them together. During this crisis, we have realized that none of us will be safe until all of us are safe, and that healthy economies require healthy nations, free movement, and free trade. During this crisis, we have realized that we are living in a constant changing societies. Technology, artificial intelligence, digitalization, robotization, social media, e-commerce, etc., are rapidly changing the world we used to know. And we cannot simply ignore this change in our development patterns if we want to pave the way for innovative, progressive societies in line with the global transformation the world is witnessing. Today, business as usual will not work anymore. We have a chance to rethink and reinvent our future. Many say that the world is living a digital revolution and need a global transformation to tackle and mitigate the effect of climate change. I'm simply saying that we are shifting to other models of democracies and social organizations. In other words, we are entering a new era of human civilization. Friends, we can spend time analyzing these changes, or we can spend time embracing the opportunities from within. Opportunities to foster our cooperation for a better shared future. Opportunities to reduce inequalities. Opportunities to foster within the recovery plan, the low-carbon investment needed to reach the global transformation called for by the Paris Agreement and the sustainable goals. Opportunities to build a solid, ethical digital infrastructure and to rebuild our educational system to allow our children to have the skill to be resilient and to adapt themselves to the new generation of jobs of tomorrow. Dear friends, no country can reverse on its own the digital globalization or innovation or artificial intelligence or can stop climate change or stop the waves of migrants. For global challenges, the world needs global answers. It's why we still believe that multilateralism, international cooperation, globalization have achieved peace and lift millions of people out of poverty, and if retold smartly and fairly, will continue achieving peace and lifting people out of poverty. And that nationalism and isolation have no answers to global challenges. Dear friends, as President of Liberal International, I can assure you that our commitment to fight against populism and nationalism, to protect human rights and democracies, to tackle climate change, is underscored by our commitment to bolstering cooperation between democratic parties and supporting those in countries where full democracy remains an aspiration. More than building capacities, exchanging experiences, advocating important causes, we are strengthening good relations, bolstering cooperation, and fostering understanding. I will end by saying that our hostile threats did not end yet. The shadow of COVID-19 will not begin to lift even for the richer countries, and even with the vaccine, for months or years. What is sure is that we need to change the world. We liberals have the vision, the creativity, and the courage to tackle these global challenges and to move within the digital transition ethically and with respect to human rights to build a more human world. And you, friends of the Canadian Liberal Party, have what is needed for that. For generations, Canadian liberals have been at the forefront of articulating not only the liberal movement and ideas in your country, but globally. You have been an inspiration and a lighthouse for every brave activist wanting to bring the liberal way of life to their oppressed governments and countries. As President of Liberal International, I'm inviting you today to continue finding your home in our global movement, continue re-energizing the liberal movement, and let's reimagine the next decades of liberalism in the world together. Thank you.